everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to be kind of doing an image walkthrough, which I haven't actually done in a little while on my channel. I recently did a photo shoot and you can see the behind the scenes video from this particular photo shoot that I posted recently on my channel. But on this particular day and this particular photo shoot, I actually photographed 3 different models on the day with one of my really good photographer friends. And it was really a day about just being creative and trying new things. So I had a few different mood boards for the day that were a little bit different to what I would usually do for test shoots. I really wanted to have that creative element in the shoot and I really was just craving to do something different. I think especially, and I've spoken about this before on my channel, with being a photographer, doing a lot of beauty photography and a lot of commercial work, after a while, a lot of clients tend to want very similar things with the types of shots that you're taking. So getting a chance to do test shoots where you can kind of be a little bit more free with your creativity is always a really great way to feel like you're kind of producing your own work again. So anyway, on this particular day, as I mentioned, I had a few different mood boards and one of the mood boards was for Eloise, one of the models that I was photographing on the day. So with Eloise, I really wanted to try something different with the lighting and kind of create something a bit funky with how I was photographing light in her shots. So I really did a bit of experimentation on the day, but there was one thing in particular that I really wanted to try, and I had seen this kind of technique, I guess, used before in a similar way, but not so much in the way that I wanted to use it. So I really wanted to capture like some iridescent light in her images, and I really wanted the iridescent light to sort of be over some of her facial features, but particularly the eyes, because I really wanted to create kind of a makeup style with the light and essentially have it appear as if it was makeup. And I didn't realize that that was going to be so tricky until the day I was actually photographing and realized that this was, a lot more difficult to make happen than what I had originally thought. But essentially in this video today, I'm going to be showing you how I created these images. So as you can see, there is a type of iridescent light that is kind of acting as makeup on Eloise's face, and I'm going to show you how I achieved this effect. So before we go any further though, if you're new to this channel, my name is Kaylee and I'm a beauty and fashion photographer based near Sydney, Australia. And for the past 10 years on this channel, I've basically been doing videos on everything photography and retouching related. So as I mentioned in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I created these images and some of the techniques that I used to achieve that effect. So I did speak about this briefly in my behind the scenes video, and if you want to go and see that behind the scenes video, I really did go through a little bit more step by step with everything that kind of happened on the day and all the photos that were taken on the day. But for these particular photos, I'm going to start off by showing you this. Now this is a phone case and you may be wondering why I'm holding it. I actually got it from H&M the day before the shoot, and as I said, I knew that I wanted to get that iridescent effect with the lighting, and I wanted there to kind of be some sort of like splay of iridescent light somewhere on Eloise's face and kind of make it work. And to get that effect, I knew that I would need something that was either iridescent or potentially something like a crystal that I could shoot with and have the light bounce through it, which actually creates that iridescent effect. Now I couldn't find any crystals to shoot with the day before, but I did go into H&M, as I mentioned, and I saw this, which is an iridescent phone case. And I actually did a little test, and I may actually be able to put a video insert in here because I'm pretty sure I got my husband to help me to test whether it was actually bouncing the light onto my face, because that's essentially what I needed to happen. I needed there to be a light source that was going to bounce into this and then essentially hit my face. And luckily for me, it worked. So I figured that this would be something interesting to use, and again, it was probably going to be a little bit more difficult with the lights and everything that I was using on the day, really trying to maneuver things into position and get that effect that I wanted. But I bought it anyway because it was like $15 and I was like, there's not really anything lost by testing this out and giving it a go. And like I said, this particular day was all about creativity. I just wanted to be creative. I wanted to try different things and I thought that I would give this a go. So luckily for me, this worked, and it actually worked really well. And what I actually had to do with this to make it work was, instead of necessarily using strobes, I used continuous light. Using strobes for something like this can be quite tricky because you can't actually see where the light is bouncing onto the model's face. Sometimes, like if you've got a modeling light on your strobe that's strong enough, you might be able to kind of see it working, but I wanted something a bit stronger to really see how the end result was going to look. So luckily we did have a continuous light there on the day that I was using, and I was able to get someone on set to actually hold this while I was photographing and have it essentially facing using the continuous light, but also kind of bouncing it onto the model's face. So unfortunately, I don't think I actually have any behind the scenes of this, but it's pretty easy to achieve when you kind of got that stronger light. It did work well. Another thing I tested out on the day, because not all the images I actually took were taken with the continuous light, and I actually forgot to mention this, but I only used the continuous light as the sun went down. I initially started using this in natural light, so you'll see here that a couple of the images are actually taken in natural light, and this was used in combination with the sunlight that was coming through the window. So I was actually able to just bounce the sunlight onto the model's face as well. So that actually worked perfectly, and then I was able to use that until the sun started to really go down and lose its light. So then I would shift over to the continuous light to sort of experiment with that instead. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to use the sunlight earlier because, as I said, we had 3 models on the day, and I was busy photographing the other concept that I had for the first model of the day and then the second model. So it was kind of like organized chaos throughout the day. But the great thing is that the sunlight and continuous light worked pretty well with this. I think if anything, I feel like the sunlight might have even worked a little bit better, but sometimes unfortunately you're not going to have sunlight, so it's always good to have that backup of a continuous light. So the good thing about this phone case as well is that I was able to use like the edging here to really create more of a line that sort of went over the model's face, and you can see that it kind of looks like eyeliner in the end. So actually that was a stroke of luck because I wasn't specifically looking for a hardlined, mobile phone case or anything. I was kind of looking for anything in stores that I could use that was iridescent. So it just so happened that that really worked well, and it really gave me the effect that I wanted. So I hope you enjoyed this video today, and it was just a fun little experiment that I was doing on this particular photo shoot. As I mentioned, I just really wanted to get creative and do different things, and as I said, you can also go and check out the behind the scenes on that video. There was so much content that we took on the day and so many different things that we were trying to achieve. So it was definitely organized chaos, but it was a lot of fun. And I really highly recommend, if you're getting stagnant in your work at any point, definitely do these kinds of shoots and organize these test shoots, because it can just make the world of difference with your creativity. So thank you so much for watching this video today, and if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, make sure you do, because I'll be posting a lot more in future. Make sure to also hit the notification bell if you want to see more updates from this channel, and let me know down in the comments section if you've ever tried something like this before with iridescent light, or if you've used prisms and crystals, things like that, to shoot through and shoot with. Let me know in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you. But thank you so much as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.